welcome to the APTA's first Grand Prix event of the season, the Lake Invitational, sponsored by the APTA national sponsors Viking and Uline. We are live from the Indian Trail Club in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, on the APTA network presented by eNat Live. I'm Jerry Viant, along with Matt Garavaglia, and we have a guest announcer who just came off the court.
Jeff Morneau.
Jeff Morneau is here. He's going to give us some insight into the match. And we're about to see the finals between the number 2 seeds, Czerwinski and Graham McNerney. And they are facing the number 1 seeds, John Hughes and Mark Powers. And you see the Czerwinski is the rackets professional in Chicago, and Graham McNerney is a consulting for an accountant firm, which is very fitting for this team because he is definitely a stats man, and we'll talk a little bit about that. John Hughes from Connecticut, Mark Powers is from New York, and interestingly enough, there's only one full-time rackets professional on the court. The other guys are at it behind the desk, but Matt, you want to, we should probably look at the keys to success,
yes,
Viking keys to success, and talk a little bit about Czerwinski McNerney.
Definitely, they have to stay mentally tough. I mean, they've had an easy road going into it, but they have to stay there the whole time. Get the mental tough. Hughes and Powers have been here, done that. And I don't even know if they've played, so.
There's no head-to-head on the APTA tour, so they're looking at them for the first time with ranking points.
Yeah, and I mean, they gotta stay down, hit their volleys. They have great hands, but they've got to make, they gotta take the barrage that Powers and Hughes gives to them, and stay with it. Play that middle, make the game, sum it both days. Slow it down enough. I know that Graham and Matic, if they can speed it up, they're the best at it. But at the same time, you're playing the other best team at it on the other side of you.
And interesting, they're hitting the overheads deep down the middle because you got lefty-righty combination. But they're so good at climbing up the screens and trying to pound that shot. And for Hughes and Powers,
they're trying to find Czerwinski at the net a little bit more. I mean, McNerney will definitely hurt him more at the net when he gets right on there. Matic, phenomenal volleys, but he doesn't hurt you because he stays back a little bit. It's just the opposite. When they're at the net, they're gonna work McNerney over, make McNerney beat him from the baseline. Matic at any time can snap a forehand or a backhand. They have to stay active. They have to keep moving. They can't get lulled.
We're just going to bring in our umpire. Mark Bliss is making the announcement for the match. We have
the men's final in the Elite 16.
I think it's over 500 people.
Featuring on my left in the deuce court from Chicago, USA, Czerwinski. His partner, also from Chicago, Graham McNerney. On my right, in the ad court from New York City, Mark Powers. In the deuce court, the big lefty from Enfield, Connecticut, John Hughes. Czerwinski, McNerney won the spin, elected to receive. The match is the best 2 out of 3 tie-break sets. The 7-game ball rotation is in effect.
All right, so why don't we introduce the players on the court?
So you have Matic Czerwinski. He's the teaching pro down at Awincia Club. He's on the bottom right on the deuce side serving right now. Graham McNerney, he is new to Chicago over the last 2 years. Played big time tennis growing up. As you said, he's the color coordinator now for Jerry and all of the stuff and all of her new charts. He's also playing out of Chicago for the last 2 years. On the far deuce side, you have John Hughes. Big forehand, lefty spins, got everything. He's got to stay that active because sometimes he gets into a lull, but other than that, the top, big spins, who can do it all. And back now on the right is Mark Powers, the, Mr. Can do everything. Small little guy that can just bring it whenever he wants.
And we just they came off of a 3-set semifinal with you, Jeff. So,
Yeah.
see anything in particular?
Yeah, our match was a barn burner. I do know that Mark Powers is not feeling great. He's got a little bit of an arm injury, as you'll maybe see on the live screen. So hopefully everything's going to be okay. He's got some KT tape on there. But they have so many options because they have the lefty-righty combo. So as good as Mark Powers' overhead is, if he has any minor injury, John Hughes is going to be able to take all the overheads, and I think they're going to figure it out.
Excuse me, Jeff. You can see the setup here at the Indian Trail Club. I mean, we have to give them a shout out. This facility just lends itself to a phenomenal. We have a couple of tournaments going on at the same time. So they have 10 courts. You can see the crowd there. There's a big crowd behind us. They've got the tent, they've got the appetizers, they've got the beer and wine flowing, and it's really a lifestyle here that they just embrace paddle. There's 24 teams that play in the leagues during the week. Mike Gillespie is the director of platform tennis here, and he, along with Anna Brzova, who's the head pro, who is the champion of the first Lake Grand Prix tournament here at Lake Invitational. And you can see they're passionate about the game, and they've come out to support the event, and we couldn't ask for better weather. Temperature has dropped a little bit. The sun won't be an issue for
yeah, no
team.
sun. Right now it's a really good temperature. I would say earlier in the day it was a little warm for paddle, quite frankly, but now it's getting a little cooler at night. There's no sun is a factor. There's an unbelievable crowd here, and when we were playing, it was great. You heard people clapping and cheering, good shots, rooting for teams. It's fun to be on the court playing when you have a fan base like this watching.
Feels like nationals to me. It's electric. You can feel the energy.
It definitely is. And you said the other draws are playing. So you have players. You have the ladies from yesterday, and they're all here rooting on. So it's a great atmosphere. Way to start the year off.
So this is the final of the men's premier event, where there had 16 teams in the draw, and we also had the men's open event, and we'll talk a little bit about that now. John Hughes is serving. He's the lefty. So here's the strategy right away, keeping the ball away from Czerwinski's forehand. Hughes and Powers will make that switch at net, putting the overheads, the forehands in the middle.
Czerwinski and McNerney, they love to play that transition game too. I mean, they will love to lull them into a half volley and then blitz, and taking, anytime Czerwinski can drive a ball, you're going to see McNerney all over that net.
He's got great hands, McNerney.
Uncharacteristic mistake there by John Hughes.
Oh, that's a heavy forehand from Czerwinski.
It's probably going to take a little bit for, I think, Mark and John to get kind of into this match. I know it's the final and they should be, but coming off of a long match and just getting out there, sometimes it takes a little bit to get going and mentally into it.
And let's not forget that they were down 2 match points in their first round match today. Serving Powers was serving at 15-40, 5-6, I believe.
Yes.
So they, they really have been tested McNerney and Czerwinski had a relatively low-scoring semifinal. I believe it was one and love.
One in love. They had the the first couple rounds. They kind of did their thing. They just played through. They they had the dream draw if you want to look at the time-wise on the court.
But I think you're right. I always think let players get through the first 4 games. Settle down, feel the ball. I mean, it's definitely not going to be flying as much earlier. Speed of play, the spins, and Jeff, you just was brutal out there. You kept them out there.
Well, I don't like losing.
Really?
So
I hadn't noticed that.
We did what we could. They were just a little better in that third set.
Oh.
Right on the line.
I think McNerney's going to have to be careful with that down-up overhead because Mark Powers on the left just loves to slide up the side and spike that.
30 love.
Think he can bounce it over his head?
I mean, he, as you know, he will try it, and both Powers and Hughes will definitely be testing him and baiting him into it. John got Juan to finally bait Juan, and there's that forehand.
$30-15.
So that's Marek Czerwinski serving. And there's that transition we were talking about.
And that's the thing. A lot of times, these guys, early in the season, you'll see them do a transition and then miss an overhead because they feel like they have to keep pressure on them. Or they play their way into the season a little bit, and they get a little tighter with some of the overheads.
As Hughes getting one of those athletic digs that, he just makes the toughest balls look easy.
He does. I mean, he's very athletic. He's in great shape. Plays really smart.
You were saying during your match, Jeff, the athletic ability of these guys, how great a shape all the players are in. It's, you look back and when people first started playing paddle years ago, and it's like, oh, it's a fun game. We have this and we have that. And now it's like the fitness is just amazing.
Yeah, that's changed a lot. As you know, I've been around for a while.
Right with you there.
And it's changed a lot now. These matches, there's so many talented rackets players playing that the points are lasting a long time. In warm weather like today, it's even worse in terms of the length of the points. And so the younger players and the players who are in better shape certainly have a big advantage.
And the actual physicality of the points, the explosiveness. They're loading up their legs, the extra spin that they're putting on it, the running down and getting the gets. It is just at a whole nother level.
It is. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
The game is getting better and growing.
But you still need that calm, normal behavior, that calm internal focus and belief.
Well, it's the go, 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 slow, go, 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 slow.
Reset,
and
right?
You have to mentally be able to do that too, and that's the hard part. I think it's when you're playing your third and fourth match of the day. It can be like, how many overheads have I hit?
Yeah, I think that's what I was talking about earlier about Mark and John getting into the match, is that physically they're fine because they're young and in great shape, but mentally they've been challenged all day, and Graham and Marek really haven't. So I think they either need to get down or the match needs to get, you know, stay close so that they mentally they can focus.
I love the way Powers holds that two-handed backhand off the screen, and then he can, last minute, go cross-court, go down the line.
He even lobs off that, which is amazing because he just holds that and it throws it up down the line, and John knows was ready for the next shot.
He sets his paddle so early, right? I mean, it's the motion when he picks his spot, he's just swinging forward.
But that's what we were saying. It's amazing watching Jeff and his in Juan's match, and their hands are so tight in and they're quick. They go through the ball when they drive, but yet at the same time, there's not these huge, large movements.
All right, so Czerwinski McNerney out to a 2-love lead. And I'm very happy that this final went on before the bedtime of 3 little guys that are home watching their dad play. A shout out to William, Asher, and Oliver. Czerwinskis. They love to watch their dad play on live stream. So I was afraid that it was going to be a little bit later in the night and that would be nap time, bedtime, but hoping they're up.
I'm sure they're watching their dad. They should be very proud. He's in the finals. He's a great player, great athlete, and great person.
Love 30.
We'll see how the match goes at the end, but right now they look pretty good.
Yeah, and this, remember, they won the first Grand Prix last year in Philadelphia, where they beat Orion Parsons after being down 1-3 in the third.
Yeah, they just look mentally and physically a little more in this match than Powers and Hughes right now.
They do have the benefit of Chicago paddle, I have to say. There's so many players and they're starting earlier there because the leagues have started already, where a lot of the East Coast leagues are just starting right now. So yeah, there's more tournaments out here to, for those those guys to play, but that's not gonna get them going as quick, as fast as sometimes as getting 4 or 5 matches in a week.
Right. And I'm not sure if I mentioned Matt is the director of rackets at the Crest Hollow Country Club here in Long Island, but originally from Chicago, so he knows what he's talking about when he talks about Chicago teams and leagues and players, and you're very familiar.
Very familiar with it. And I said it's, when I first started playing out here, and it was, didn't really understand why some of these guys were like, what do you mean you're starting already? And, but they start early. There was their leagues, but but the tournament play out in the East is, definitely, a little more. Definitely have,
they
less
almost
places
ran
to
into
go.
each other right there.
Game Czerwinski McNerney. They lead 3-0 first set.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Powers come over quite that far to take a ball that Hughes could have swung at as well.
Yeah. I mean, Powers got a much bigger forehand than John Hughes, but that's a long way to go to hit it.
I would just like to take a moment to thank our sponsor. Fusion Sports is your source for high-end custom and apparel. Fusion offers pro shop management, tournament favors, corporate branded gear, and youth sports. Fusion is an official supplier of apparel and the exclusive provider of tournament favors to the APTA, and you see all those snappy vests and players have got on. That's all coming from Fusion.
Yeah, Fusion makes great gear. All the players are wearing it. Great favors. They look good on and off the court.
There we go. Styling. All right. McNerney serving, and they are up 3-love in the first set.
Love 15.
Yeah, Hughes, this is a must-win game, I think, for Hughes and Powers if they want to have any chance in this first set.
It's a huge.
15 all.
They look a little flat-footed to me. Right? They need
We
to
were
get their
noticing that
energy up.
in the match with Jeff is in the second set they did get stopped doing the little step. They're kind of more of
15,
one
30.
step, two step, and then they got back into that at the beginning of the third. And it is a lot of little steps. I mean, talks about how tennis, it's a much bigger court. You run more, which is true, but you have to move a lot more on this court when you play
15,
tennis.
40.
So you saw McNerney get caught there midway. I mean, he hit that slash drop, but then bailed a little bit. You either got to commit and stay up or get off the court.
That's a ball
30,
John rarely
40.
misses. There he had him back. Marek
Game
reached out his
Hughes,
paddle.
Powers,
And
Czerwinski, McNerney lead 3-1 first set.
It's that little flinch, right? That's all it takes. You probably lost sight of the ball, and
But that's what you were talking about earlier about the mental tough. I mean, you're up 3-0 and 10 seconds later it's 3-1.
right.
And those are the games you got to mentally just kind of buckle down and make them at least, play a few shots.
Mark is playing really fast for him.
Love 15.
It's not really their style to be going for shots like that.
You think it's a function of saving his arm, or
don't
just
know.
being caused by McNerney? Like he loves to sneak in there and pick up the ball off that half volley.
Well, what's interesting is with their Viking keys to success, they wanted to hit to Graham in the backcourt, but that means that Mark has to hit the overheads. And if he's not feeling great, that means that Hughes is going to be hitting to Marek's big forehand and backhand.
Love 30.
It's true, and it's a big thing. And when you feel sometimes it is a little bit of pressure, and then you do press, and we've all done that press, but it's easy to hopefully for those guys to slow it down again, get back into it.
That's a better point for Hughes and Powers. Oh!
John Hughes never hits
15,
anybody.
30.
He's such a nice guy. He comes in on those blitzes, and then he sometimes loses points because he doesn't want to go right at the person and hit him. And Mark Powers sits back there and just shakes his head.
Trying to say Mark would not do that?
Mark would not do that.
But that was the point they need. They need to, listen, they make them play a few, even if you lose a point like that, but it's not 10 seconds.
All.
Hughes serving 30-all. You're absolutely right, Jeff. That does set up for Powers to be hitting a lot of the overheads, which he probably doesn't want to be doing.
Yeah, and I'm watching him, and I haven't seen him take a full swing at any overhead yet. He's kind of hitting his overhead like a great shot.
Yeah.
I mean, the
30,
amazing,
40.
it's a great shot, but earlier in the point, Hughes makes a great get, and you're coming back, and it can get demoralizing when you all of a sudden when you do all the right things and not win the point.
Let court serve.
Now you see the switch. at net. Oh,
Justin.
Game
That's
Czerwinski,
not like
McNerney.
him.
They lead 4-1 first set.
he's going for the banana. Oh, there's the
There it
hit.
is.
Oh,
Right
that-
hip.
He's laughing. Okay. We're going to see it again to make sure that it's real. Oh, nice cut by Matic.
Yeah.
That's a shot that you're seeing more and more players hit over the years.
Yeah,
It's a point-ending shot.
Dave Keevins was one of the first players to really attack the deuce court player, and he could hit that shot. Nobody knew what it was for the longest time, and a lot of players, Matic there, Juan does it very well. They can really carve that ball.
Yeah, I think nowadays the players are so good from the back, especially in warm weather, that if you're somebody who can finish a point at the net and hit a winner from the net, you have a huge advantage. And you see all the players coming up, men and women, that are getting a little better at that.
Yeah, we're talking, Jeff, I'm an admirer of your overhead, though, because, the main, most people that watching this, they're watching, they all love the cuts, and it's beautiful, and it's great, but it's not the majority of the players can do that. But you have an overhead that not almost anybody can attack, and talk a little about it for a second about how where you hit that overhead, because a lot of times the players don't watching this are like, oh, what a cut, but then they don't realize that the overhead Mark's sitting right there is the overhead that sets that cut up.
Right.
Yeah, that's why Juan and I were so successful for a long period of time, and why we play well together, because he has that shot and I just try to put it in the right spot, so they have to hit something back that's short and basically in Juan's wheelhouse where he can just put the ball away.
Love 15.
My partners, whoever I play with, they know that's all I can do, and I just try to do it well. So I try to find partners that can put it away at the net.
How about you played Baxter Murphy today? Murphy's a new player on the men's circuit out
15 all.
of Cincinnati.
Indianapolis.
Playing with Baxter from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got an unbelievable drop volley off of both wings from bullets, and he can
does.
drop it from an overhead. I mean,
He
15,
reminded
30.
me a little bit, actually a lot, of like Scott Kaler, who's got that same, plays really close to the net, and you drive it at him, and he's right there and just dinks it.
Well,
And it's a great shot.
15, 40.
Even Juan commented a number of times how good that guy was at the net. He was amazing. And it takes a lot for Juan to give somebody else more credit than himself at the net. So, as we know, Juan's one of the best volleyers in the game.
It's an exciting time.
It
That
is.
team's going to be fun to watch get better.
And Baxter's been around a long time. He's got a lot of experience. Knows the game.
It's we were commentating, and Lauren and I were talking about how watching you guys and how Hughes and Powers, you can't tell them anything wrong, but they are playing off the net more, and it looked like you and Juan got a little more relaxed to drive, where you couldn't do that against Murphy, and it's different. You're not used to it.
Lead 4 games to 2
You have to
first
lob
set.
on balls that you don't want to, and that's exactly playing in different styles.
Here we go, 4-2. Or I should say 2-4.
15 love.
And there's the mental toughness. It's the long point. Then it's the easy shot that you don't think you're going to miss, and you just take your eye off for 2 seconds and just got to stay with it the whole time.
Double lead cord point.
30 love.
It's my favorite shot. What a great exchange. Boom, 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 boom.
40
Back
love.
and forth. I usually run for cover when that happens, Matt. What about you?
Yeah, no, it's, the last time I won a volley exchange could have been the Chicago Nationals when Graham didn't even know what paddle was.
Say that's the part of Graham has really gotten a lot better over the last couple years and become one of the elite players in the country. He's really improved his volleys. He's gotten a lot more patient from the backcourt.
Well, now might be a good time to talk about his stats. He showed me his color-coded spreadsheet, which I love. It's got a breakdown of every player, their strengths, their weaknesses, and he says he kind of figures out the whole strategy and he shares it with Marek Czerwinski, his partner, and he kind of says, and Marek nods his head, but then just does his own thing. So it feels like it's more like a wave. He says it so he can hear it back. But Marek is, I don't want to know about 3 boards over and 5 things. He doesn't play like that. But it works. It's a good flow.
Yeah,
all right, so Hughes and Powers.
Right back in this match.
As we talked about, it took them a little bit to get into it, and now we got ourselves a first set.
Yep.
We'll see if they let too many games get away from them in the beginning or whether they can come back here.
It's just the opposite, too, where Graham and Marek, the last, since when they got up 4-1, they got played a little looser. And, that's good, but the other team tightens up just enough.
And I'll tell you, the crowd keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
They're just loving it here. The members, people who have come out from everywhere to watch, what's better than this? They're able to be outside because the weather's so great. There's great food, desserts, drinks, and great paddle. So
you see behind us is a big lake. They've got tennis courts, they've got softball field, the pickleball, basketball courts. This is it. Bergen County, was that Leckord?
Love 15. Love 30.
Power 6 a little more inspired.
The 4-1 game when Czerwinski and McNerney, they basically kind of didn't give it to him, but they played a little loose. It gave them life.
Yeah,
40.
The 3-0 game, if they had gone up 4-0, it's a completely different story than.
That is trouble. Hitting that bigger serve coming off the back screen with Powers with his backhand moving forward. It's tough to keep that volley in.
Now it's the time to see if the first time they've been tested this year at 4-4, if they can right their ship, or if they
Looks like they're playing everything down the middle right now.
Yep. Just the mental discipline of being willing to stay in it, wait for the right opportunity. Doing a great job of not letting Marek Czerwinski see a forehand. Up, and that's what happens.
There's a reason
He's
you
gonna
don't hit it
pounce.
over there.
There is. It's something about strategy.
And you try to sneak one in there, and boom.
It wasn't that bad of an overhead. It's, you know, it's just that's how quick these guys are, and
That was bold.
15 all.
Get ball. I mean, you were in transition like that. He's going on a blitz, and that ball gets volleyed straight down at your feet. Let it go through.
Oh, what a serve. Perfect spot.
30, 15.
Nice deep lobs from Czerwinski, McNerney.
There it was.
40, 15.
Probably not the one to swing at, but when your forehand's that good.
that's the thing with Czerwinski is
40,
he's
30.
very good not only at hitting that shot, but he's good at if he misses it, he throws it. Oh well, I'll go for it again.
Game
What a
Hughes
overhead
Powers.
by
Wow.
Hughes.
Yeah, I mean,
Ball was in.
the lefty attacking the ad court player.
They
is
lead
something
5 games to 4.
A few
First
years
set.
ago, we started a little bit more, and I mean, it's when you're in the ad, you're not used to seeing a lefty come at you.
Yeah, you hit like 5, 6. I don't even know how many.
5,
Right
4.
down the middle over to Marek, and then just snuck a slammer right at Marek. I mean, right at Graham McNerney.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's you're not used to it. You're not, it's out of the box in a way. It's not your normal thinking. I'm playing the ad court. I have a lefty with so much spin. Why is he coming to me all of a sudden?
What is this? I know it's paddle, but like, why does this seem so competitive?
15 love.
It's a national tournament. It's a national tournament. Best players in the country.
And did you see my parents? Did you see my parents?
It's that third panel slam. Czerwinski's creating movement.
You know, things are getting a little tighter here now. Everyone seems to be very focused. 5-4. Sets in jeopardy. Points are going to get longer.
15
Slow.
all.
I mean, we talked about it earlier. You know, Czerwinski and McNerney didn't have any, close matches, big points they had to get through, and it is, as much as people think, oh look, wow, Hughes Powers had to play way more paddle getting into the final. They also have had to face adversity already this tournament.
Look at that. What a get, what a volley.
Whoa.
30-15.
So with all of this transition play, you really have to know where your partner is, who's going to cover. You can see them, getting in the middle of the court, letting balls go through. That court awareness and your partner awareness is so important. Otherwise, it can quickly turn into bump cars, right?
But their paddles are so steady. They're not flailing around. Even when they're hitting cut overheads, they're not, these big, huge swings.
It's a great angle, shows his athleticism. I mean, Hughes really likes to get down low, and he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's got to be, what, 6'2"?
We've seen him just get so many amazing gets from impossible positions. He could probably have his own highlight reel. See how low he gets his paddle, and he lets that ball come down to the paddle. Oh, McNerney's off the net.
Yeah, that's unlike Graham McNerney. He's usually right on top of it. He wasn't happy with himself, I think.
No.
A little yell there.
No, not one bit.
You don't want to be volleying up. You want to be close to the net.
Game Czerwinski, McNerney. Games are 5-all, first set.
We're going to replay of Hughes. Look how he
get.
goes off the court.
Oh.
Yeah, he caught, Powers, was up the side on the deuce side there.
The court coverage they have, and
There it is. Look at that.
yeah.
Oh, there's his move. He climbs up that side screen, looks for that lefty spike. You see Powell's going to do the same thing. Oh!
Oh, what a point.
This is a lot of transition play here. All four players. It's
There's
so
the
easy.
spike.
Tried it.
That's why Hughes and Powers do so well. And this is you both
15 love.
spoke about it early in the match. When their feet are going, when they're athletic and they're controlling that transition play, it's just a matter of time before one of those shots appears.
That's the one overhead you don't see them hit a lot. Once in a while you'll see
30
John, spike one down, and Powers maybe, but barely. A lot of them try to go over those guys, it seems like, more than anybody else. They don't hit that. They hit out.
40 love.
Okay, 5-all, 40 love.
After
Game
that
Hughes
transition
Powers,
point,
they lead
that was
6 games to
amazing. What
5,
happens?
first set.
Next 3 points. You know, and that's where the, early season, as we were talking earlier, they're playing a lot of Chicago paddle. They're playing a lot of good players. But it's where you can get away with, you lose a set.
6-5, right? Yeah, 6-5.
But it is definitely the, you have a great point like that. You have a great point like that, and next thing you know, they're 10 seconds later, 3 points later, it's game.
So Matt, going on court 2, you can just see it behind us. We've got the final of the men's open. So this is the new format we talked about. We have the men's premier final where the top 16 teams are playing in this final. At the same time, we have the men's open where the top 32 teams are playing. And you want to tell us who's out? Actually, they left the court, but that's the final.
So it's
Chris Humphreys.
No. We'll go back to that in a minute when they get there.
Okay.
Watch.
Yep. We'll give them their shout out at the end of this
course.
set. You see McNerney hit that overhead and then elected to stay back. He was so far out of the service box so that he avoided a big forehand at his feet. He did tell me before the match that bailing will be a big thing.
It seemed like, the first few games, everything they did, turned to gold. Every volley they hit, everything. And then all of a sudden, the momentum shifted a little bit. Hughes and Powers, all of a sudden, they start making that transition volley. And then, McNerney kept trying to force
Love
it,
15.
and hitting it, going back. Save your life, go back.
Right.
Get ready for the next shot.
Okay, McNerney serving. And it's been all Hughes and Powers. They've just dialed it up a notch. You
Love
you
30.
felt them getting more and more comfortable.
You're right. We talked about the keys earlier, the transition, and it would seem that changed. And when that changed, then all of a sudden the match has changed.
Looking
Love
to
40.
set points on the paddle. Hughes and Powers.
Fifteen, 40.
Czerwinski forehand at play.
It's got a lot of spin on it as well. So
Oh.
not only is it heavy and hard, it's got spin. So you see players that'll hit a heavy ball with not a lot of spin, or a lot of spin and not. He's got both.
Hughes has got that lefty roll overhead. Willing to hit the overheads down the middle of the court. Oh.
30, 40.
Interesting. I looked like Powers was looking to cut to hit a drop shot, and then
The
he
ball
pulled
just
away.
kept drifting away. But, it
2 set points saved. Back to
Deuce.
deuce.
one of the things you learn is, it's so different than tennis. Is even though the scoring's the same, you get that, you get that. Hey, it's every game starts at love, and you got to win 4 points in a game. It just feels like in platform that you grind and grind, and you win that point, but next thing you know, it's like not the
Advantage,
game as much as it is
McNerney.
in tennis.
Phenomenal overhead cut there. McNerney got it to bite the side screen and drop like a rock on the back. Hughes is doing a great job of keeping that ball deep. McNerney slid over and Czerwinski slid over and got a look at a forehand, and
Game Czerwinski, McNerney.
what was that?
6-all
Love 40?
tiebreaker.
It was love 40, and then of the great the great overhead that John hit, in at 40-15, and great stab, and then almost like a that down the line shot that Powers tried to come get, and he just couldn't get to it, and next thing you know, it's breaker.
All right, tie break,
1-0
and Hughes
Czerwinski, McNerney.
dumps a serve in the net on that first point. Really just needs to take a moment and regroup here. They started a little bit slow, got into the rhythm of it, right? Got ahead. Czerwinski and McNerney are now back with the momentum.
That's what you need to do. You need to get, you need to get McNerney to come up with a chart, with a momentum chart. He's going to be very good at the momentum chart of his has got to be out of the.
Monik Czerwinski serving. Catches the nick.
Catches the
2-0
line, catches the
Czerwinski,
nick.
McNerney.
That's the thing about momentum, right? Then you can start getting the let cord, the breaks go your way.
You can tell himself
2-1 Czerwinski, McNerney.
Because even if he makes the shot, John's right there. Hughes is going to probably
deuce
stuff
court
the
point.
volley back. And that's something that, Wednesday night you do 100 times and you make it, 99, and you win some, lose some. But, it's in a final of a, Grand Prix, it's got to go up.
Nice angle there, McNerney's overhead. Really has a lot of bite on it. See how it jumps off the back screen. Good combination.
3-1 Czerwinski, McNerney.
His spin overheads are very impressive. Ooh, I'm playing with fire there, giving Czerwinski a forehand drive. And Czerwinski comes up with a
4-1
backhand drive.
Czerwinski,
Short ball in the
McNerney.
middle. We're like, he's going to hurt you from the back court. Keep it away from Czerwinski off the deck.
Czerwinski goes from the exact opposite, more no. He wants one hand on one side, one hand on the other. And he can snap it, hit it, roll it, push it. It's pretty impressive to watch.
So McNerney's serving up 4-1 in the tiebreak. Here we see another couple of combination overheads from McNerney.
There's that high lob.
5-1.
Jeff was saying McNerney's really added a lot more spin and variety to his overheads, and we just saw like a 3 or 4 in a row where he really loads up his legs and bites that ball hard. It hit the back screen and jumped over to the side screen. And
Well, he's got an unbelievable overhead. He really opens up that paddle at the net and like that, and puts just a ton of spin on it. He's obviously feeling very confident to go for that.
5-2. Czerwinski
well, he
McNerney.
has loosened up. He's probably hit 20 overheads in the last few points, and he's definitely loose.
Yeah, I mean, early on, not in this match, but in his career, that's what he was doing all the time. He was just hitting that and hitting that and hitting that. But Jerry, as you know, when you mix it up, it just adds so much more variety to his game, and people don't know sort of what's coming.
Right. You're just trying to make your opponents uncomfortable and not get into a rhythm. And when you hit the same shot over and over, they start to read it and feel balanced. But he's added the variety to it. You see that little dump.
Oh, Mark Powers likes that one normally.
6-2. Czerwinski McNerney.
And they got a bunch of set points.
You were saying, though, Jeff, about how he was doing it early and then he's learned. And I think
Oh, man. That's
game and first
a
set.
tough.
Czerwinski McNerney. 7 games to 6.
2
That's
faults in the
2
breaker
minutes.
for
Yeah,
Mr.
2 minutes.
Hughes. Very
If it take longer, we
uncharacteristic.
know what's wrong with it.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. Oh, no, can we go back over to court 2 for a minute? Let's just show and talk about that because we got cut off before. So over on our second court is the finals of our men's open tournament.
So we have Chris Humphreys from Stamford, Connecticut, and Jeremy Court from Larchmont. They were, I don't think they were seeded. I think they pulled off a little upset, taking out Mike Stulak in the semifinals. And they're playing.
I think it's Chris Chu and Andrew Orban from Washington, D.C. So with this new format, the top 9 in the men's open qualify for the Nationals, which is at the Country Club of Darien in March. So good to see these guys competing, and this new format is really gonna, I think, change.
Yeah, well, I've played this Chris Humphreys twice, the lefty and the forehand court. I played him in a league match in the summer. It was hot. First time I played him, he was new to the game. So, of course, you think, oh, he can't be that good. Well, he was. A great player. For somebody who hasn't been playing that long, he makes great mental decisions. He doesn't do anything stupid. He's got a big lefty serve. I think he's somebody that everybody should be watching going forward.
So didn't he play the Patterson Open with Mike Cochran, or was it, no, not the Patterson Open, it was
he played Patterson. No, he played the league match, and Martin Bostrom and I actually played against them, and it was like all my matches, it's like a 3-hour barn burner, and the only person who was left standing was Humphreys, because I think he's like, 22 or something. It was 85 degrees, and Martin and I thought, oh, this is going to be a, not a cakewalk, but somebody we'd be able to pick on, and he'd make dumb shots, but he didn't. He played great. So the next time I played him in Patterson, he was playing with the partner he has now, and I was playing with Mick, and so we knew, you know, I knew a little more about what was coming. We were able to pull it out, but they played a great match. He's really competitive. He's into it. He wants to be, you know, the next great player.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about this.
You're over here.
Call him a
There's
kid
the-
almost. You know, from some of the guys that go up and play in the leagues, and there's Humphreys. And his partner I've seen play a bunch of times. Actually, his partner started playing tournaments when he was in the juniors in German court. I remember watching those guys when they were 19 and 20 playing in some of the tournaments, and they take their lumps, but they wanted to learn. They wanted to be the next, you know, they want to be up there, and they're itching to get up there and play, and that's just great about this format is, you know, they get to play a lot of matches, and they get to come in, and you know, their goal is to try to be, hey, nothing against the Open. They want to try to get to play with the big boys, and that's what's great about this is they get to show off their talents and get ready to, you know, they take the next step forward.
We'll watch them like
The
we have
first set.
watched Hughes and Powers'
First
career.
set,
I mean,
7-6.
where the turning point for them was that Long Island, where they took you guys out for the first time.
That's right.
And they didn't lose another match throughout the rest of the season and ended up winning the national. So it's fun
Players
to
ready,
watch the
second
new
set.
players come into the game. And all right, Czerwinski's going to serve. So guys, it was
Play.
kind of a little up and down there at the end of that
Oh, it's a
first set.
Roller
So
coaster.
Yeah.
Hughes
Well,
and Powers looked a little flat again towards the end.
I you know, that love 40 to game just kind of, you know, it deflated them for the you know, when they got back into the
15 love.
tiebreaker. But yeah, you know, you don't necessarily eventually love 40. You're thinking, okay, I got this, and then next thing you know, it's like, uh-oh.
Mark
30
Powers
love.
doing a Wanaraya, looking at his paddle, as though it was the paddle's fault that he missed that lob.
He's also rotating his wrist, as you had said before, you know, where he's having a
40
little bit
love.
of a problem with his arm, and he's starting to rotate his wrist.
Yeah, you can see him holding it.
So Czerwinski, McNerney mentally really need to stay tight here in this early part of the second set.
Oh, what a get by Hughes, and then he tags
40,
Czerwinski.
15.
John has 2 tags in this match that I've seen, and he usually goes a whole tournament without hitting a single person.
Oh, see that ball move off the court.
What a shot by McNerney.
That's true. Game.
Yeah, so Hughes and
Czerwinski,
Powers to me
McNerney,
look
they
a
lead
little
one game to
flat,
love.
a little
Second set.
lethargic. They need to pump up that energy, and Czerwinski and McNerney look totally psyched.
Yep, that sort of was the beginning of the match as well.
I'm just going to give a shout out to Clark Trophies by Max Laprevere. Clark Trophies is your #1 destination for all trophies, favors, and prizes. Clark Trophies, better quality, faster service. We're going to have a chat to Max when we get to Chicago Charities, our next tour stop on the APTA Grand Prix Tour.
Yeah, that's great. Great little business for Max Lapavere, guy I've played with a bunch, and it's good to see the players giving back also to the APTA. You got Uline, who obviously has been great for years and years to the APTA and platform tennis, and now people like Max, who have businesses on the side, are supporting the APTA and platform tennis. It's great.
We're very happy to have such loyal sponsors. Allows us to do all this live streaming
Love
Yeah.
15.
and all the other initiatives the APTA is doing. Oh, McNerney's not known for his big forehand, but he found the hole there.
Love 30.
I think they were surprised that he went for one. They both looked at each other and went through, and
And what do you think that does for McNerney's confidence?
well, if I'm Powers and Hughes, I think they're probably hoping he goes for more forehands.
You have to say, you know, you get that old additive. Sometimes you want him to make one. Try it again and again. You know,
But you know McNerney knows the percentage of him himself making that shot, so.
he understands it on paper, but he's got to understand it during the match.
That's very true. So Hughes is really picking those handful of boards right in there with his placement of his overheads. He's so accurate.
McNerney made another one.
That's
right
true.
through the middle.
Can you remind him of that at the end of the match?
My guess is he's going to watch this match about 10 times, take all the statistics, and find a way to make himself better.
Yeah, he's a true student of the game.
It's an interesting
That was
choice
interesting.
of shot.
15-30.
You've played with somebody that might have tried it once or twice. I mean, what do you...
Yeah, I usually just turn around, grab the ball, and serve it again.
What do you think about it? It's 1-0, and that's, you know, 1-0, 30 love 30 at the time, and
30-40.
it's like, why? It's easy to say from here, but it's like, why?
Hughes is pressing a little bit, you know, swinging at that ball. He's moving backwards.
Well, John Hughes running all the way to the other side of the court. I thought he was going to stay over there and play 3-on-1 against Mark Powers.
That's
what a great
great
shot by
overhead.
Graham McNerney.
Game
Again, it's a
Czerwinski,
heavy,
McNerney.
heavy cut on his overhead. It just
They lead
stays
2
so
games
deep,
to love,
so
second
low
set.
in the screen. And I think Hughes is having fun jogging around the court.
I don't know how he does it. And he can go all day, like the Energizer Bunny. Mark Powers does not seem to be
15
right.
love.
Yeah.
Seems to be a little out of it mentally and physically. I like this by John Hughes, giving him a little fist bump.
Yeah. And he's starting to miss.
30 love.
So Jeff, you're always such a great partner. I know you've played with a lot of different players, and one of the big things is you are so even-keeled and so supportive no matter what. I've seen you in a lot of situations where your calmness and your composure and your ability to be a
40
team
love.
player first has pulled through for a lot.
Well, thanks, Jerry. That means a lot. That means a lot. I enjoy playing. I like to compete. And listen, I just think when you're out there, you're a team. And you know, when your
Game
partner's
Czerwinski,
down or not
McNerney,
playing
they
that
lead
well,
3 games
you know,
to
you can
love.
slow things
Second
down.
set.
Just talk to him about
Czerwinski,
something else.
McNerney won
Try
the
to
first set, 7
reset
games to
his or
6.
her mind, whatever the case may be. You know, and when I'm not playing that great, I would hope my partner does the same thing. I try to just play my own game, but I think to be a good partner, you got to be able to, you know, talk on the changeovers. Let me look at Hughes and Powers right now. They're down 3-0. They're not playing that well. Marek's Czerwinski is heading off to get some water, but I mean, they're really dominating the play in this set. So, you know, it'd be good if they could find a way to slow things down.
But your ability to recognize what's happening momentum-wise, strategically-wise, as it's happening, as opposed to in the car on the way home, you recognize it and you articulate it and you sense it, and you've done it. We've watched you do it with a multitude of partners, and it's a special talent, and it's a big part of your success as a team. And you know, all these players could learn a lot from that commitment to being a team player and just learning, you know, what your role is and your ability to change roles based on what your team needs. And the high five or the step into my office and look at my eyes or whatever it requires, you have been able to do. And you're right, Hughes and Powers, they need a little bit of a pep talk here.
They were here last set. I mean, it's, again, we're, you know, you'll find out now, really also I think more about Czerwinski and McNerney is, you know, they were up 3-0 last set in 4-1, then down 5-4 or something, but.
And then you have that shot.
I mean, they're dominating the set, and there's no need for do that. Mark Powers isn't physically or mentally at his best right now, and there was no need for Graham to do that, but I guess to a certain extent it shows a level of confidence that he's having.
I mean, that's the thing too, is you feel like you just gotta, you know, you've been told, especially if you're a competitive tennis player, you know, put your foot on the pedal when you get them down. And in this sport, sometimes the more you try to push it down, the more it resists, the more it comes back at you. And then, of course, if you say, well, I don't want to miss, I just want to play slow, and you start losing that way, and you're like, well, this is, as you said, the momentum. It's the roller coaster. It goes up, down.
I mean, you see Mark Powers, he just doesn't hit that overhead. I mean, I know he can, but you're not seeing any big swings out of him. He's hitting overheads like me. He's just pushing them. And
well, you know what? Coach Kaufman would be happy to see this. He wants to see them hit a few more push overheads. I'm sure he doesn't want to see him injured, but you're right. I can't remember seeing Mark Powers hit so many push overheads like that. And you see him in the backcourt too, was holding his arm again, and he was trying to stretch out that forearm.
I did talk to him for a few, just to kind of, you know, to ask a little bit, and he was saying that it is, you know, it's his forearm, and there's times it loosens, and then there's times he goes to hit, and it's twin, it's a 10. So just, I mean, having, you know, it on your right arm, hitting everything you can with that shot all the time, it's got to be mentally fatiguing too, though. Oh.
Nice move by McNerney, and the smart to go right back at Hughes, who was down on the court. But we've seen Hughes dive like that.
It's amazing.
Quite a few times.
To dive on the paddle court with the grit on the ground, and you know, that just shows his level of competitiveness, his desire.
Score is
Right, so
30-40.
update on the men's open over on court 2. So court Humphreys is up 5-2 in the first set.
Oof.
Hughes.
It's one of the first balls I've seen Mark Powers really take a crack at.
And you know, they were saying earlier, Jeff, there's a big difference between 3-1 and 4-0. Even though it got the 4-1 last time, it's a big difference up at 4-0. And that was a point to go 4-0.
Got so much spin on that ball.
Advantage.
He hit it off of
Czerwinski,
both
McNerney.
sides.
He's always had that from right when he started. He had so much spin. And now he's just using it a lot more effectively than he used to.
And a chance to go up 5-love in this second set.
Game Czerwinski,
At 4.
McNerney. They lead 4 games to love. Second set.
That
That's-
4-0 is going to be really tough at this point. I think John Hughes needs to try to find a way on that side to do something to dominate, even if at this point getting some big swings out of Marek and praying that he misses some.
Love 15.
Very similar shot.
But that's the thing with McNerney is he'll give you that, and you just hope that for their sake that they don't do the 4 in a row like they did 3 straight games in the first set.
15 all.
Marek Czerwinski serving.
15-30.
That also looked like one of my serves. Slow.
It was going to be well placed, though.
You're going to get to the net fast.
Well placed, so
I think he missed another one.
it looked awfully close, didn't
It
it?
looked long to me, but
But you're tired.
I'm
It's
tired.
No, I agree
it's
with you.
also good to know, though, for
30
people
all.
watching, we might have saw it long, even the umpire might have saw it long, but it's not his call.
Right.
And a lot of times, people think that, there's an ump there. So why doesn't he call it? He's just there to overrule or to, make corrections and just keep scores.
And if the players do ask the umpire for a ruling, it stands.
That's the one this is
40-30.
normally Mark's, that two-handed backhand is money.
Yeah, and I just took a look at him here because we can see him in the corner, and he just looks a little bit dejected right now, like he's. I mean, 4-0. It's not done, but.
And I think he's going to really need to, at the end of this tournament,
They
rest
lead
that
5 games
arm
to
and
love.
whatever
Second set.
kind of treatment he's doing, because clearly it is affecting him. He just
Yeah.
has been completely out of sorts from.
Yeah, it's not to take anything away from Graham and Marek.
Absolutely not,
They
yep.
absolutely hung in there. Mark and Hughes and Powers came back in that first set, and I think if Hughes and Powers had won the first set, it might be a little different mentally for Powers. He may have, thought about, I can grind this out a little bit more, but when you lose the first set, you're injured, you've already had 2 long matches. Mentally, you want to win and you want to give it all you have, but it's very, very hard to do.
And your opponents aren't giving you anything.
No, and they did in the first set. They let them back in and gave them that breath of life, and now without the breath, it's harder.
And so while I fully expect, Hughes and Powers to keep trying and fight till the end, it's not going to be easy.
No.
Look, a couple of casual moseys there, didn't it? I was like, the both
Half
those
volley
balls
from the
land in.
baseline.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you're hoping that the other team gifts you one like that, like that, or gifts you a game, and then you start
yes,
thinking
we've all seen the 5-0.
if it does make it to 5-2, I think you're going to see a little more energy out of Hughes and Powers. That was a great play, just missed it.
And that's the thing, is those are the shots that if they he makes majority of the time, and we're all watching like, how can you? It's the little pressure, the little movements.
This long.
Yeah, it's hard to beat anybody 6-0. Especially, the number 2 team in the country.
Huge, heavy rip by Marty.
40-30.
Black court.
Oh.
Nice move by McNerney, though. Just hit the top of the
Hughes
net, but he
Powers.
really held that forehand and came in behind it.
Czerwinski,
Yeah.
McNerney lead 5-1.
David, you're right, Jeff. This is it's a big game. I mean, obviously it could be the tournament, but at 5-2, there could be the
Yeah, there'll be hope. There'll be hope.
Big
Yeah.
cut.
I think it's going to be on
Love
Hughes
15.
if they're going to come back. I think he's got to be the one to just say, I'm going for everything. I'm going to try to get us back in this match. I'm not going to play conservative. I'm just going to do whatever I can to try to be the best player on the court for a long period of time.
Then,
15-all.
And it's
then,
hard to but it's hard to calibrate that. When you all of a sudden you feel that you're the one who's really got to step it up. And
yeah, he's going for it, and you can't blame him. 5-1, he knows his partner's not feeling
30-15.
great. There's nothing wrong with it. I know he wants to make it, but I think it's the right strategy.
oh,
40-15.
got match points on the paddle. Graham McNerney serving.
$40-30.
One saved. Big serve. And he catches, goes off
Great
the
tournament.
net.
Congratulations, boys.
2019.
Great
Game,
tournament.
set, match.
Lake
7-6,
Invitational.
6-1. Czerwinski McNerney
Premier
must like the
Championship.
first Grand Prix tournament of the
McNerney,
season. They've
7-6,
repeated what they did in Philly last year, and that's a very good tournament for them.
Great playing, guys.
Guys, closing thoughts on the match?
Yeah, unfortunately for Mark, Mr. Powers looks a little injured, and we'll get him back into good things. But they got to get that close with that kind of feeling, and great for Czerwinski and McNerney to learn how to really ride a ship of being up, next thing you know, being down, set points to come back to, against, one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's great to see. There was great paddle. Hughes and Powers will be fine. They're going to come through at the end of the year. They're going to be one of the top, 2 to 4 teams for sure, as are Czerwinski and McNerney.
Yeah.
So it's early in the season. They'll look at everything. I'm sure they'll go back and look at the tape on this and try to figure each other's out, because they know they're going to see each other on the other side of the court in other Grand Prix and likely at Nationals. So it's a good start to the season. Great matches.
Fabulous match. Fabulous tournament. Again, a big thank you to the Indian Trail Club, President Bevan Romaine, their General Manager Mike Asbill, Mike Gillespie, the Director of Platform Tennis, Anna Brzova, and the whole staff here at Indian Trail. They really have set a very high bar, and just the excitement that was generated by just having the membership here, and a very nice start to our season.
It's been tremendous. You can feel like the energy, as you said. It felt like a national.
Yeah, it did, right?
Yeah, it did.
It has that
really
nationals and that energy. Which makes it better for the players. I've never got that. I've just been there, and it makes it help.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It really is. It's what makes it fun for the players. I mean, these guys could, Czerwinski and McNerney can get great matches in Chicago all day long, but they come all the way out here because of the great facility, the great environment, the people supporting and really appreciating their talents, and getting to put it on display for not just the people here, but the people on the live stream. They get to learn a little more about, how to play paddle, and I can't think of a better way to start the season off. They did a great job.
Yeah, it's really, paddle is really, it's on a big upswing. We've got a lot of great new initiatives at the APTA, and our next tour stop, the APTA Grand Prix Tour, we go to Chicago early November, so we'll be back on the live stream. And Matt, thank you for
my pleasure,
jumping
Jerry.
in.
Thank you very
Mark
much.
Fischel is traveling the world somewhere, but we'll see him in Chicago. And as always, Jeff Bono, your thoughts and insights are so articulate, and you've been around the game for a long time, so I really value having your expertise and the passion of both you guys. It's really fun.
Well, thanks, Jerry, and thanks for all you do as well. It's always great seeing you, being with you, commentating a match. So looking forward to seeing you at all the other events.
All right, and shout out to the ENET crew. Guys, thank you very much. We hope everyone enjoyed the new camera angles that we're bringing to you. And that is a wrap, delivered by Uline. yesterday to write notes. Can't hear Lauren.
Hi.
Here.
Hi. Hi, hi. Hi.
No, the pad's better because they all. Invitational, sponsored by the APTA national sponsors Viking and Uline. We are live from the Indian Trail Club in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, on the APTA network presented by eNet Live. I'm Jerry Viant, joined by my friend Lauren Mandel. Morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Jerry.
And we are about to see the women's final between the number 3 seeds, Anna Brzova and Roxy Enica, and the number 2 seeds, Carrie Delmonico and Lauren Gebbia. And Anna Brzova is the head platform tennis professional here at the Indian Trail Club, and her partner, Roxy Enica, is the director of rackets at the Western Field Club in Connecticut. Carrie Delmonico is a sales rep, and Lauren Gebbia is the director of racket sports at the Hackensack Golf Club. So, Lauren, let's talk a little bit about the players.
Okay, well, they're warming up with
Morning,
opposite
ladies and
partners
gentlemen,
because they're
and
taking
welcome
serves
to
on
the
their sides.
2019
Just let
Lake
Mark Bliss, our
Invitational,
umpire, do the intro.
an APTA Grand Prix event for both men and women. This is the women's final, featuring to my left from Summit, New Jersey, they've switched, excuse me. Carrie Delmonico, her partner, Lauren Gebbia, and the team of Roxy Enica from Coscob, Connecticut, and Anna Brzova from Franklin Lakes. Brzova Enica won the spin and elected to receive. This is a match at best 2 of 3 tie-break sets with a 7-game ball rotation.
All right, so upset
3
yesterday.
minutes. Everybody needs to
Brzova,
go around,
Enica
please.
took out the number 1 seeds, Dardis and Shea. It was 6-4-7-5, and Guillaume Molinville, Delmonico Gebbia defeated Guillaume Molinville, the number 4 seed. So, Lauren, let's talk about the Viking keys to success that these teams
Sure, it's all right.
need to produce today. So, keys for winning for Brzova and Enica is stay
fall out of
calm
here.
at the net. So
That would hurt.
Brzova was a little bit jumpy yesterday. She missed some volleys and deal with the warm weather. Roxy Enica, felt that it's warm, so a lot of her drives were flying and her spins were flying. So she needs to calibrate that. And they both need to serve well, because Lauren Gebbia's returner serve with Delmonico blitzing behind it is going to be a good point ending strategy for them. And then Delmonico Gebbia is control Roxy's drive. They don't want to see Roxy's drive. She's got the big ground strokes on that team, and blitzing off of the returner serve. Delmonico, you'll see her sneaking in the court and really just rushing the net behind Gebbia's huge returner serve. And no free points. So sometimes it takes Delmonico Gebbia a while to get into the match, so they want to start strongly.
Yep. I think that both teams have to really stick to the basics here. And like you said, if Roxy doesn't give away any free points with too much razzle-dazzle, and Gebbia Delmonico don't make any errors, it's going to be a very
Barry,
high-quality
wait for me.
match.
Another minute or so.
Delmonico and Gebbia are serving. Delmonico's
Good to
wearing
go?
the pink visor, and Gebbia's wearing the blue visor. On the other
Players
side,
ready?
Anna Brzova's got the
Is
white
Delmonico
visor.
to serve. Ready, play.
All right, Delmonico serving. Big returner serve off the deck.
Love 15.
So, Lauren, I really think, the conditions will be a factor. The sun is going to be in Enica Brzova's
15
eyes
all.
on this end. And the temperature is quite warm, so the ball is flying a little bit. It's going to be sitting up high, which will suit Brzova's
15,
shots off the
30.
deck, because she likes to take that ball shoulder height and hit down.
$15, 40.
That's the kind of point, obviously, Brzova and Enica would like to play. They don't want to let Gebbia Delmonico get in the point. They want to take control right away. And there you see the contrasting overheads. Gebbia likes to whack her overheads, and Delmonico likes to take the pace off.
Yeah, if
Game
Gebbia's hitting the
Brzova,
overhead,
Enica.
because of her grip, she tends to hit that
leave
ball
one game
flat
to love,
down.
first
So
set.
if they can get her to hit that type of overhead when she's out of the service box, it's going to set up the blitz play. And both Enica and Brzova love to blitz. Brzova more so. So there's the first break. Brzova. Roxy Enica is going to serve first for their team.
15, love.
Watch Delmonico there on the bottom right-handed side of your screen. She's already moved into the service line.
Fault. 15 all.
They're looking for a shorter, slower serve so they can both go in.
And this is going to be the plan. Don't let Lauren Gebbia hit off the deck. Make her hit out of the screens. Don't give her a whack at the ball like that.
Good timing,
Yes.
Lauren. Huh? You are sharp this early in the
15-30.
morning. So the net team up of both sides is really going to have soft hands absorbing the pace of the drives because, like I said, it is quite warm, it's sunny. And if they squeeze their grip too hard or go forward, put any kind of forward motion
30
on that
all.
volley off of a big drive, the ball's going to fly.
Gonna
Good control and pace on that volley by
40,
Enica.
30.
There'll be a lot of transition. A lot of transition plays. We're going to see a lot of one up, one back, but both teams are really looking to blitz and come in. Lauren, there's the overhead of Gebbia that we talked about that also Gio likes to hit. We're on the left side of the net. They play with danger because they like to hit that overhead and try to catch the deuce court player in the nick. But there's very little court to work with. So
But she does it so often. I feel like she thinks
Advantage,
and
Delmonico,
she makes it most
Gebbia.
of the time. So it's a shot she's comfortable with going with.
nice
Yes.
sneak attack by Brzova. She is stealth-like. She sneaks in.
Be interesting to see if they don't change their formation when they're serving to Gebbia. It's not.
Put Delmonico on the left.
Yeah.
Normally they do.
Yeah.
Delmonico has a lot of variety on her overheads.
She also, has a pretty Eastern grip, but she doesn't spin the ball so much, but she moves it around and changes the pace beautifully.
Advantage, Delmonico, Gebbia.
Another break opportunity for Delmonico Gebbia.
Now they're
See
going to play
again.
regular.
Delmonico constantly moving forward. And there's that,
Game, Delmonico,
that
Gebbia.
big rip. If
Games are
Gebbia
1-all
gets
first
a
set.
hold of that ball and rips it, unless Brzova and Enica are right on the net and quiet, they're better off letting it go through because that ball is just so hard to control.
Love 15.
That's a great shot. You can see we're at the Indian Trail Club, and what a magnificent setup we have here. They have 10 courts, and you can see the members there where they've got bleachers up.
Love 30.
And there's a restaurant and like a hangout room with a fireplace. They have great viewing of their paddle courts. They have 24 teams in the Jersey League, between men and women, and I think 80 juniors. It's just a wonderful program headed by Director of Platform Tennis Mike Gillespie, and of course Anna Brzova being the head pro here for platform tennis, and will have a lot of home crowd support. Smart bail by Gebbia. Oh,
There's a taste of the
Love
spin
40.
that Enica can use.
you see Delmonico at net, staying down low.
15, 40.
That's the stuff Roxy Enica's got to tighten up.
Yep.
Like just
Fault.
that's to give away
Game
on that
Brzova,
return of serve.
Enica,
Just too
they
big.
lead
Just
2 games to
put
1
it in the
first
court.
set.
Get your team in the point.
Well, I think we can say after 3 games that it's not going to be easy to hold today.
Yeah. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of lobbing. I
No.
have not seen a lot of lobbing yet.
I think Anna Brzova would like to hit some lobs, as would Delmonico, but Gebbia's going to keep the lobbing to a minimum, and if there's all this poaching going on, there's not going to be a whole lot of opportunity. There's going to be a lot of fast exchanges at the net and a lot of big returns.
Now, Brzova she's got a very good offensive lob, so she will build the point with her lobbing and try to find a weakness and get them out of position, set up Roxy's big drive.
If she gets the opportunity.
Yeah.
Love.
So this is side. Brzova is serving right into the sun on this side.
And right into Gebbia's forehand, which may be a bigger problem. Thought about sneaking in.
You can see that 3 in a row, deep lobs, getting their feet out of the service box, waiting for the right ball to pounce. They're looking for something short or hard off the screen that'll move them forward. Not that. I think Brzova
15
knows
all.
that. Like, wait for a shot that's bringing you forward. So I think
15,
Brzova's got
30.
to stay back. I mean, the setup, the ball's just sitting up on her serve. She doesn't have any spin or much pace on the serve, and it's going to be hard to keep it low, even though she may get it deep.
So here, now she's just going to end up going back anyway.
Yeah,
See?
it's just a scramble.
Yeah.
So
15, 40.
whether Enica stays up at net or not, or poaches or not,
30,
Anna's
40.
got choices. Brzova's got choices.
Yeah, now I think they're doing eye, and she should stay back. Glad she listened.
Yep, just get your team into the point.
Yeah. I mean, she's coming in, it's fine, she's quick, she can get back, but she's just coming in to run back if she comes in.
Game Delmonico, Gebbia.
All right,
Games
so
are 2
we
all
have our
first set.
4th break in a row.
Pretty convincing breaks, all 4 of them.
Scary Delmonico in the visor. Oh, I think she changed her mind there. Gebbia looked like she was
Love
going to
15.
hit the overhead and the ball dropped too low.
Yes. 15 all. Just long. It was long. 15-30.
Oh,
15-40.
Delmonico absorbed the return, only to be foiled by the let cord.
So yesterday when we were watching Brzova and Enica, just reminding everybody, this is the first tournament they have played together, and they both felt that the communication was key. And you can hear Brzova calling again every ball. She kind of took on that role, which was no surprise there. She's very clear in what she wants
30,
to do.
40.
And she's just more communicative than Enica. And Enika's fine with it. They're on the same page. They're good friends. Nice scrambling.
Oop. All right. Deuce.
Deuce.
Carrie Delmonico's got a good serve and a good first volley.
I think she has a great serve.
Yeah, she could be the
She's
first person to hold in this match.
so consistent and deep.
And she's very confident. If she misses one,
Advantage
she's gonna make the
Brzova
next
and
one.
Enica.
She doesn't get. Some people start to get all stressed about it if they miss a couple serves and then they miss more and more. That never happens to her.
No, she's not a stressor.
No.
Nice poach there. Oh, actually, it wasn't a
Deuce.
poach. It was a reach, but Gebbia had control of it. And Delmonico, Gebbia also, they have their hands full when Roxy hits those drives because those balls are heavy.
Advantage Brzova and Enica.
Gebbia's got to get on the net. Oh, you see Delmonico there. I don't know if you picked that up. She was grabbing Gebbia at net to get her to change sides because that's where they want to be. Delmonico wants to be on the left, taking most of these overheads. Maybe we can grab that on replay.
Game Brzova and Enica. They
You know,
lead 3
sometimes you
games
just
to
got to
2
do what you got to
first set.
do with
Yeah,
your partner, you know.
and Carrie's definitely the communicator on that team.
Yes.
She often talks right through a point to her partner and is very clear about strategy.
And generally, when you're making a switch at net, you want the player who's hitting the overhead to make the call because they're the ones, you know, who know if they're going to hit an overhead that's going to give your team time to either change sides by hitting it slower and deeper down the middle or being able to get the ball into the side back screen. When you make the switch, you need time. Okay, so we've had 5 breaks in a row.
Love 15.
And Roxy Enica is serving. I'm not sure if that return of serve was staying in. It was a little high.
Carrie Buse, who's going to be playing with Carrie Delmonico in Rochester, who's played with her quite a bit, said that's what Carrie does to Carrie when they play together, only she pushes her right off the court.
15 all.
And she would know.
30-15.
Excellent work in transition there by
40-15.
Enica. She had to go back to get the Gebbia return. She came right back in, hit a tough low volley in transition, and now has 2 game points on her serve as a result.
That would be our first hold for the match. Well, the pace is slowed down a little bit more calibrated. More about the placement, and of course the pace has slowed down because the balls are not going to Lauren Gebbia.
Right.
And there's the hold, 4-2. All right, let's take a look at that replay quickly. You can watch Delmonico. She's got Lauren by the arm and she wants her to
Brzova,
change.
Enica. Love 15.
Ooh.
15 all.
And you can see behind on court 2, we also have the men's premier event going on. And I believe that's Lepever and Prosetsko playing Czerwinski, McNerney. And we'll be bringing you scores to the other matches. There's actually another tournament as well, the men's open. So we have 3 tournaments going on, APTA Grand Prix Series here at the Indian Trail
15-30.
Club, the Lake Invitational. And we'll talk a little bit about that
Hold on.
new format
Am I wrong?
later on.
Sorry, thank you. $30-40.
So that's 30-40. Delmonico, Gebbia. Gebbia is serving. Nice shot of Delmonico. You see how she kept her eye on the ball. There's a roller overhead that Brzova hit to her, and it's so important when you're getting turned around, taking that ball off the backside screen, that you turn with your eyes on the ball.
Game
Okay.
Brzova, Enica.
So Brzova Enica held and then consolidated the break, or however you call that when it's in
Ladies,
reverse.
I
But
need your.
5-2.
What's the set score? I might have marked something wrong. 5-2? Yes, I did. I'm sorry. Games are 5-2, first set, new ball.
Viking Athletics is the premier brand and the undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform
Well, that's
tennis.
the one you warmed
The
up
Viking
with.
Extra Duty platform ball has been the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It is the official ball of the APTA, of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of the Grand Prix Tour. The official paddle of the APTA, engineered to provide superior feel and the perfect balance of power, control, spin, and durability. The Viking paddle is the official paddle of the APTA Nationals, the President's Cup, and of the Grand Prix Tour.
And you see Brzova is taking some practice serves because they're putting a new ball in play every 7 games.
Love 15.
All right, so let's take a look and see what Brzova is going to do on Gebbia's return. Maybe she's still going to continue to try and come in or stay back.
She's sort of half coming in, which I think is a better plan. When she's coming all the way in, she's just running back again. This way, at least she's closer to.
And they have Delmonico Gebbia in the position that they want again, with Delmonico
Love
on
30.
Gebbia's left. So she can take most of the overhead. She's got a lot of spin and a lot of variety, and she also can trick you with her pace. She's
It's more
got
her pace, I think. It's not a big spinner, but she
No,
changes
she's-
the pace and the trajectory of the ball beautifully.
No, I think it is spin. I mean, I think it's not, she doesn't have a heavy, hard spin, but she's got that little bit of a cut that fakes you. You think it's
Yeah.
going to be flat, and then she pushes it behind you. So, not the traditional heavy roller cut, but her combination of both spin and speed makes the baseline player uncomfortable. And she can hold the ball really well. Nice close ball by Delmonico, and then Gebbia threw up the lob and got her out of trouble because she was 2-on-1 there. Great combination of overhead placement by Enica. You can see she's going. Oh, there it is. Oh, replay on that, please. She tried hard yesterday to find that bite on the ball, and
Yesterday she hit one of those in the back fence.
yes,
But
we all
she
held
got
our
it.
breath.
Got it good today. That was a good example of it.
And the build up to that was fabulous. I mean, she
Yeah.
hit some hard third panel slam, which pulled Gebbia out into the middle. It was a side back, and then she slid it behind her, aiming for the singles line. It became a backside. A little confusion there.
15-40.
I was confused. I didn't understand.
I think Anna just went, and
Yeah.
then halfway through said, "Oh, Roxy, I'm switching."
Two break points.
Again, you saw Brzova
30-40.
hit that volley and then duck down and slide across in front of Enica, setting up Enica to take the overheads, because obviously she's feeling the ball a lot better today. Hitting a lot more
Okay.
spin.
Now let's see if Brzova can get into the point here. Well,
They can handle the return
Yeah.
to serve.
and it's easier for Roxy to hit that first volley because she's not running in at the time. She can stay still.
Yep, you can see Enica then load up her legs
Yep.
for that overhead, because the overhead, you know, so often the people focus on the racket, the direction of the racket, but if you've got to be balanced from below, you know, you've got to have your legs balanced, set, and loaded, comes from the ground up.
Advantage Delmonico, Gebbia.
Yeah, again, that serve is just sitting right up the point of contact that Delmonico likes, a little bit higher, and she can hit right down on the ball.
Deuce.
It's really been all about Enica's spin overhead coming into play here. She's really found her range.
There it is again. Yeah, once
Advantage
Brzova and
Brzova,
Enica get
Enica.
into these points, they're having a tremendous amount of success at the net. It's weathering this first shot. That's the issue.
Good call by Brzova.
So I guess the question is this.
Hughes.
If you're Brzova and Enica, do you give up the net when Brzova's serving? You're giving up your huge advantage because you're doing so well when you're at the net. It's a tough, but if you don't get into the point, you have no chance.
Right. I think I want to keep Enica at the net and have Brzova stay back.
Advantage Delmonico, Gebbia.
I'd like to Delmonico, find Anna, right? That's the returner serve should go. Find Brzova. She's the one that's coming into net. Find her feet. Make her have to hit that first volley up.
Hughes.
So that's 2 quick points. But I'm sure Delmonico Gebbia will want back. Let's see what happens on this returner serve.
Advantage Delmonico, Gebbia.
Yeah, well, the last 2 quick points that Delmonico's returned have gone her way.
Game Delmonico, Gebbia. Brzova and Enica will lead 5-3. First set.
All right, we're going to replay here of that cut from Enica. See how that ball hit the deck and broke left. It's going to make our highlight reel, so you'll be seeing it again. I can't wait to see all the team practices Monday morning when they try to practice that shot.
15 all.
Okay, so you can see how important it is to play Australian when you've got someone who's returning the ball so well. It causes confusion for the receiver. So when the receiver is dialed in and can pick a specific spot and just keep going to that clear mark, they'll keep making the shot. But when you create movement by playing Australian, and one moment the player's there, one moment they're not, it makes them think. They hesitate. It can take away the sharpness of the return.
Brzova and Enica have to be careful here. They had a big lead, and it can very quickly evaporate.
You can see Delmonico Gebbia have not switched at net. Nice deep lobs. Good hold there on that backhand from
30-40.
Brzova.
Yeah, nice short swing.
And again, that ball was relatively high off of the back screen, so it sets up an opportunity. Bring the ball down.
Game and first set,
Yep.
Brzova, Enica.
I just think you're much better off Delmonico being on the left. She's got more variety, more control, and that gives Brzova Enica the first set. So we'll see what happens. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with the second set here at the APTA first Grand Prix tournament of the season. The two seeds for the Lake Invitational at our first Grand Prix stop on the APTA tour is Kerry Delmonico and Lauren Gebbia. So listen, we're talking about pre-tournament routine, and you've got a lot of experience, a lot of firepower in there. What separates your preparation, you think, from the other teams?
Well, unlike Charlotte, who's doing push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, we're not doing that.
No.
We're going to work on the mental. That's what we're doing. So we're really, Lauren and I, we talk about our opponents at length, and we just discuss, where we should be going, who's going to be taking the overheads, are we going to switch? So what do you think, partner?
It's usually a nice phone conversation on our drive to our first round.
Okay.
And we roll in, we have our game plan, and we get on the court.
Could we talk about the...
The sun? Yeah, we had a slight issue last tournament.
Yeah. So
my overhead queen over here could not see a ball, so I was stuck taking every overhead.
Okay, so we've got our equipment check,
We've
because
got
that's
our
got to be part
bag
of
check,
the prep.
bag check.
Bag check. All right, so,
Sunglasses are in there.
so you're pretty set, right?
We're ready to go.
Luckily it's cloudy today.
Yep.
We're gonna dial in and check back with you a little bit later. Good luck in the
Perfect.
tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you later. We're supposed to get Enica. Okay, welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We're in the women's final, the first set. Enica Brzova, who are about ready to serve. And that was like a fun little video that we did yesterday. And you will notice from that Delmonico and Gebbia have their sunglasses on.
15 love.
They were all very prepped and concerned that they wouldn't be able to see in the sun. But 3 out of the 4 players actually are wearing sunglasses.
15 all. Thirty, 15. Forty, 15.
Okay. Here we are in the first game of the second set. I'm sure Brzova and Enica would love to get a hold. And that's a great way to start.
Game
Holds have
Brzova,
not been easy to
Enica.
come by.
They lead 1 game to love, second set. Brzova Enica won the first set 6 games to 3.
All right, and joining us in the booth, we have a guest commentator. Welcome, Enica Cooper.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, Lauren.
How
Hi,
are you?
Enica.
So, Enica, we're sorry that you're out for a little bit, recovering from an elbow injury that you've had during the summer, but we're looking forward to your return, and it's a bonus for us, because we'd love to have some of your insights on this match. You saw the first set.
Yes, some exciting points there in the first. I thought maybe they'd make a little comeback there.
It looked like it. It looked like they had the momentum, but Brzova played a couple excellent points at the end.
So Kerry Delmonico is serving. We were just commenting that Kerry Delmonico's got a great serve. Would you agree?
Love 40.
Having played against her?
Yes, it stays nice and low, so it's not easy to get it back down low at her. So I think it's a solid serve.
It's not a great serve in the sense that she's, hitting it off 3 screens and hitting
Game
winners. It's a great
Enica.
serve in the sense that it's very consistent,
They lead
and
2
she
games
sets
to
herself
love.
up for a
Second
very
Yeah.
makeable first volley.
Gets the job done.
Well, and she can place it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
got great placement. That's what, under pressure. She's not a, front runner server. You can pretty much count on her having a strong serve no matter what the score is.
That being said, she hasn't held yet in this match.
But not from faulting.
Nope. Neither she nor her partner has held, and now that they're down 2 love, they're going to have to find a way to hold to get back into this
Love
match.
15.
All right, so this is what we've been talking about and commenting on is when Brzova is serving to Gebbia. What can she do to negate that big drive and get her team into the point? Enica, you know what it feels like to receive Gebbia's return of serve.
Yeah, I don't know if she's tried staying back
Yep.
on a,
The problem is they don't want to give up the net. So,
Love 30.
but she hits it so hard that sometimes
Yeah.
you can get back there and then drive it off the back screen and come back in. I don't know if but they're
they've
so
done a little bit of
fast,
that. Yep.
Roxy and
Yep.
Anna. They could do that, and I know Roxy likes to hit a drive off the back screen. So if one of them gets back there, they can do that play. But if Lauren's gonna hit it 1,000,000 miles an hour, it's a good idea sometimes to let it go through and then come back.
So look, Roxy
15,
Enica's
30.
overhead has been a determining factor in this match so far. She's really been able to calibrate and hit different spins. Yesterday she was, mishitting them a little bit.
Okay.
We saw a couple on the fly
Yeah.
into the back screen, but today she really seems to have a hold of it. How tough is her overheads to handle?
Well, one thing you don't want to do is let Enica get in front of the service
15,
line
40.
to hit an overhead. I think if you have any chance, if you're going to hit a weakish lob, you don't want it to be to her. If she can step in and do what she wants with the ball, she has such variety. And on top of that, if you can get her moving a little behind the service line, she often hits on her back foot more exaggeratedly than others too. So right there, she's kind of off the back. So if you can get her going back and then get the next one down at her feet, that's a great
Delmonico,
play. But you don't want
Gebbia.
her in front of the service line.
That was right on cue,
Enica,
Enica, because Gebbia Delmonico just hit a combination of lobs that had Enica hitting her overheads from outside the service box, and then you saw she pressed a little too much on that last one and,
Yep.
and popped it
Hit
long.
it a little too hard.
Uline is the leading distributor shipping industrial and packing materials to business throughout North America. They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they are so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock and ready to ship.
Love 15. All.
That's the risk of the blitz. Nobody's home if it gets by you.
Well,
But no, I really like to
15,
see
30.
Brzova hitting that lob down the line and looking to blitz. I saw her do that yesterday a couple times. I think that's
Yeah, she loves that play.
so much fun.
Yeah.
And she gets it works well for her a lot.
And I don't know if you noticed, she's usually smiling when she's coming in behind that. I mean, she really
It's fun
wants
to
that
come-
ball hit at her.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't drive a lot. She's usually lobbing,
30 all.
lobbing to try to get an opportunity. So it's, I think, fun. It's fun for me to come forward at the proper time. And so when she knows when she hits a great lob that she can move forward and her partner is behind her to cover. Enica's so fast
30,
that
40.
she can, if the ball gets through, she can get it. But how much fun is it to be able to come in and take advantage of a great lob
Deuce.
instead of just waiting for them to miss or do some.
No, she generates offense with her lob placement.
Gebbia's missed a few serves this game, and Delmonico's saying to her, it's fine, it's fine. And, you know, they're still in the game. It's deuce, and she's going to shrug it off. It's always nice when you're having serving issues, when your partner seems unconcerned.
Advantage Delmonico, Gebbia.
And look, you know, a few errors, and now she's got game point.
Another strength of Delmonico is her mental toughness. I mean, we always talk about
Yeah,
Dallas and Shea as a
Delmonico,
team and
Gebbia.
their mental toughness, but Delmonico's right there with them.
Games
It does
are 2
not
all,
matter
second
what the
set.
score is. She is not going to give up. She's not going to stop trying to calculate and figure out and outmaneuver. Sometimes she's got a lot of maneuvers, and and the execution is a little tough, but she's always mentally in the game.
And for all of Roxy's brilliance, she just made a few bad errors. You know, sometimes it's hard to be so talented. Too many shots, too many things you can do and want to do. Anyway, after all those missed serves, Gebbia was the first person to hold on their team in this match, putting them right back in it.
That's the
Unusual.
two really unforced errors that Brzova's made, is hitting that backhand that's deep in the court. She knows she shouldn't hit it. If she's going to take it, it's got to be a short ball moving in, not from the baseline like that off of a deep ball.
Oh. About 30.
This is probably the biggest point of the match right here. Kind of feel like if Delmonico Gebbia can break.
Well, Brzova and Enica were cruising. They were cruising along, and all of a sudden, errors are creeping in.
15, 30. $15.40.
A tactical error by Enica. She's got to throw up a lob when her Brzova's on the service line. She's got no prayer of getting out of the way of that volley. The pace of play has picked up to favor Gebbia and Delmonico.
And there
Delmonico,
again,
Gebbia,
it's
they
exactly
lead 3
like
games to
we were
2.
saying. Enica's all the way
Second
back,
set.
and then Gebbia is able to get her on
Good ball.
to the ball at her feet on the next shot because she didn't do enough with the overhead, keep it deep enough.
Sometimes after you win the first set, maybe a player will start going for a little more than they think or not be as disciplined, so and then fall into the pace of the other team. It's hard to sometimes keep that focus and stay disciplined coming off winning the first set.
But they won the first set and then won the first 2 games of the next set. They were maybe seeing the finish line.
And feeling, okay, let me go for a little more, and coming out of their strategy.
Wait, what? 1 second, please. Is that your serve?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's unusual.
Yeah.
None of them
I'm not
Whoops.
wrong all the
realized.
time.
Brzova's probably
know
happy.
what the
Doesn't
best
have to now serve.
the deep serve.
15 love.
Just bring you some quick score updates. It was almost a huge upset. The number 1 seeds were down 2 match points in the third set. Yep, in the men, in the premier event. And they were managed to eke it out 7-6 in the third over Bibkov and Beauclair. It was a great match. So they are through.
30 love.
And they'll meet Croker and Hume. Baxter Murphy are lined up to meet Araya Morneau. Compton Kaler will meet Crick and Lothgren. And Lepaver, Pretensko playing Czerwinski McNerney. That is in the men's quarterfinals that are going on right now. So we'll try to get you some score updates. A lot of action here at the APTA Grand Prix event at the Lake Invitational.
And in this match, the momentum is completely changed.
40-15.
Enica and Brzova have to find a way to get that spark back. A little energy going.
She might start looking at the huge crowd.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of her members are here.
$40-30.
Okay, from 40 love to 40-30.
Big serve by Delmonico there. Down the tee deep, so Enica couldn't take it off the deck. But hit the screen, and right now it's still warm, so that ball is at shoulder height coming off of the screen. Got a lucky let cord.
I really think this is a huge game, which is not that insightful, but oh, it went out.
That was, Delmonico's pretty proud of herself right now, because that was a calculated bounce.
It would have been a great lob if it had stayed in.
So of course the ball hit the court and went out of the court, so it's a loss of point.
Hughes.
Enica, how difficult is it to slow down the pace of play when Gebbia is firing with so much pace?
Yeah, especially on a warm day, and you want to get into the rhythm. She hits it harder. You want to hit it harder back. It's not easy. Just have to remember, I think, sometimes that you have more time than you think. You don't have to rush hitting the ball.
And of course you've got the screen.
Right, let it go off the screen, then wait until the ball's at the right contact point, and perhaps hit a few more lobs, then driving it right back at her, depending on where she is, where they are on the court, and make them hit a few more overheads.
How big was that break?
It was, well, they were, I mean, Delmonico was up 40 love serving, looked like they were going to take a 4-2 lead, and now it's, the complexion's changed again, but now Brzova's got a hold.
And here we are again, talking about Brzova serving to Gebbia. She's got to be, they've got to be clearer.
Yeah, I mean, she's had problems serving to Delmonico, too. It's tough for her to get in there, and there you go. That's, you try to place it too well or make it too good, you start to fault.
And you see Brzova's got a very compact motion. She really, over the years, has gotten the ball toss lower, preparation shorter, very little, just almost a straightforward push.
Yeah, I
be
always
able to
thought
keep it
hers,
deep and
hers
control
in
it.
particular is tough to
Pardon me?
return. Her serve in particular, Brzova's, is always tough because I like to take it early and try to get it down at the feet, but she hits it with a good pace and very low that I don't like it as much as other
Yeah.
serves because it's not easy to take advantage. She comes in very quick.
Right. She's gives herself enough time to get in quickly behind it, and she's such a great
Yeah.
volleyer. You see that push overhead from Delmonico. Just all gives her placement and depth. Just trying to keep it away from the big Enica hits. Delmonico Gebbia are the defending champions of the Lake Invitational. They won this event last year. This year it's a Grand Prix.
Here comes Brzova. You don't like that one, do you, Jerry?
I don't. You saw my hands
Yeah.
go up in the air. That's that.
Three,
Trying to
second set.
drive off the back
Behind.
foot from
Yeah,
the
off the back
backhand
foot.
deep,
Yep.
and they
First
played a
set,
good
6
point.
games
I
to
mean,
three.
anytime they can scramble,
Yep.
they're in it. But taking that drive off of her backhand, falling backwards, that's
It's never good unless
not-
they're way back behind the service line. Is it ever a good idea? No.
it's hard to generate pace, too, because then someone's gonna. It's a perfect opportunity to get dropped, even
Right.
if you make it. But Brzova has hit 3 into the net, I believe. I'm sure she'll tell me about it after the match. But I must say, for a team that has not played a tournament together before, there doesn't seem to be any confusion today with Brzova and Enica who's taking what ball.
No, it's helpful that they're both so fast because, like on that one, it wasn't such a clear cover. I don't think Enica knew that.
Well, the ball was
Brzova-
good. Ball was in. From the outside of the line.
Overruled by the umpire.
15
Mark
love.
Bliss making a clear call. Is very experienced umpire from New Jersey. Makes such a difference having the umpire and
30 love.
takes the pressure off the players. And they're not calling the lines, but they will overrule when asked, which I believe Kerry did.
40 love.
She did.
Black cord service winner. Give a chance to go up 5-3.
Game Delmonico Gebbia. They
Big
lead 5
holding.
games to 3, second set.
Back to your point, Lauren, the energy has not come back up for Brzova, Enica. Got to get their feet going.
Love.
Did somebody say nice serve then?
Gary.
15 all.
It was probably Carrie. She jokes around a lot on the court.
Oh.
15 15-30.
It's a tough game to serve. Trying to stay in the set.
Yeah, Brzova needs to get back there and talk to Roxy
Yeah.
and pump her up. Give her some confidence. It's okay.
30 all.
That'll help too.
Yeah, I feel like Enika's been serving better just recently. She used to in the past go for bigger serves more often, I think, and so seeing her place it well at a good pace, I think she's been serving well. She just had a couple faults. But
She hasn't been going for those big serves yesterday too. I think maybe she hit one or two, but for the most part, this is a much safer serve.
How about that twirling backhand overhead from Enica? Can we grab that? Show the athleticism.
A casual get into the net by Carrie Delmonico. No panic, no rush.
I was happy to see Enica throw up a lob that
Yeah.
time when she ran it down.
Set point.
Yeah, stop moving their feet, and Delmonico, Gebbia are all
30, 40.
fired up. $30, $40.
I can't call it on this side.
Oh.
Game and second set. Delmonico, Gebbia. 6-3.
All right, so we've tied it up. We're going to go into the second set. I believe we might have
2 minutes.
another fun clip. Oh, no, we're going to show that later. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with the third set, the women's final, here at the Lake Invitational.
You can't put wings on a car. You can't see an accident coming. Or walk away from one like this. You can't make a car talk.
How can I help you?
You can't fight gravity. And you can't make one of the world's best SUVs even better. Go on, tell us what else we can't do. The all-new GLS.
Are we ready to go?
Possibly the safest, most spacious, most Mercedes SUV ever made. Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
The world of Rolex is filled with stories of perpetual excellence. For Rolex and tennis, the tradition began in 1978 and has grown to include the most iconic majors and tournaments since, supporting the legends, champions, and rising stars committed to the future of the game. This is a story of perpetual excellence, the story of Rolex.
I play to be part of the team. I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine. I play to be a part of something bigger than myself. I play to stay healthy. I play to feel powerful. I play to win.
Okay, welcome back. We're at the start of the third set, the women's final, between Roxy Enica and
About
Anna
15.
Brzova and Kerry Delmonico and Lauren Gebbia. They split sets. Delmonico serving.
all.
Here with Lauren Mandel and Annika Cooper, our guest announcer. All right, so it's really important for Brzova and Enica to get their energy back and start strong, Look, Delmonico, Gebbia have all the momentum going into this third set. Some guest appearances there, but they're both athletic, so they got out of trouble. And
30-15.
This happened yesterday too. I think Roxy has to get back to basics.
Yeah.
She was playing so well, doing everything so well, but under control.
big
Good.
return of serve.
Good way to redeem herself there.
Yes.
30 all.
Because
Yeah.
she doesn't need the razzle dazzle. I mean,
Right.
those shots are great, but she doesn't need it.
Right, you've got to build the point, and and also you got to build your confidence.
Yeah.
You know, they're a little bit down, and they need to just be consistent and make the shots.
Oh, I think it's fun to try. I always like to see when they try, and of course when you miss, it's not good, and then when you make it, it looks great. It's tough to decide. She was a little far
Football.
back on that, but I like to see
Game
her hitting
Brzova,
those. I think
Enica.
it's fun.
They lead one
Yeah.
game to love.
I just think when
Third
you've
set.
lost the set and
I agree.
you need to try to get your way back into it, you don't want to lose a point like that.
Here's the replay of Roxy Enica's twirling backhand overhead.
You teaching that one?
I don't think so. Don't ask me. So Raya Morneau just got the first set, 7-6, over Baxter Murphy in the men's premier. And Czerwinski McNerney are up 6-3, 5-2 over Leprever Presensko.
No.
That was a nice lob that pulled her.
Love
over.
15.
Clearly, Enica should have gone back down the middle there. It's hard to hit that sideline when you're leaping.
They should
15 all.
decide who's coming in, I think, because only one of them needs to come in on that. Yeah, well, they had that great return, and then nobody was in. So a lot of times with my partner and I,
30,
we decide
15.
before whoever's returning who's going to follow it in if it's a good return, so that at least somebody's up there to catch the blitz if it has an
Speaking of your
opportunity.
partner, who
Hi,
is your partner?
Florentina, if you're out there.
I'm sure she's enjoying listening to your explanation of what's going on here.
40, 15.
I think she's on an extra special adventure this weekend, so I don't know that she's watching now, but probably later. We love to watch all the live stream matches. We watch them over and over and try to learn as much as we can. We love live streams.
40, 30.
Nice drive from Delmonico there. Really got Brzova having to reach.
That serve was really short. Kerry was like 2 feet from the net when she hit that.
Game Brzova, Enica. They lead 2 games to love. Third set.
Back where we were in the second set, 2-love for Brzova and Enica.
Love 15. Love 30.
Oh, that hurts.
15,
Yeah.
30.
You have it all teed up there. That time, Gebbia stays back, waits till the ball goes through, comes in. Whoop. Hard to hit that ball when you're moving sideways.
30 all.
It's a really good bait overhead by Delmonico. She was very close to the net. Hit that shot and had Brzova needed to go on a 45-degree angle to cut it off.
30, 40. Game Brzova, Enica. They lead 3 games to love.
Big
Third
momentum
set.
swing back for Brzova and Enica. You can see you just need to hang in there. Cut down on the unforced errors. And we are in full sun.
Feels like summer.
It does, quite balmy, which is going to affect the play. There we are. Look, good shot of the crowd, and you can see where's those guys? You can see our guys out of the ENET crew. We're sitting right next to the court.
Whoop.
Oh, wow. Huge opportunity
Kick
there.
15
Gebbia
love.
just needed to roll that down. Tough
Very
sometimes to
exciting.
control the adrenaline.
When it
Right,
gets
Enica?
exciting, get that short ball. It's
Yep.
hard to slow down the pace. Not easy.
Another
15 all.
backhand.
At least that one she was moving
Yeah, she
forward.
was.
Right? She just
And she's
swung.
made a couple good backhands moving
Yes.
forward. And she's allowed to miss.
So 5 all. I
30,
lost that in the sun.
15.
It dropped in. Yep. It's waiting for another ball to go over the back screen.
Forty, 15.
Great roller from Roxy and Enica.
She might have stayed back after
40,
she hit
30.
that. Might have been a good idea. She couldn't get herself back into position at the net. If you're pulled way back like that, maybe continue and bail.
Brzova closing right on top of that net.
Game Brzova, Enica. They lead 4 games to love. 3rd set. Fault. Love 15.
All right, what's Delmonico Gebbia got to do here to get on the board?
Well, they have to hope for a little of that, you know, errors. That's what helped them in the second set. And they just have to keep sticking to their game plan, which was working really well.
30-15.
Just so important to get those first 3 hits. Serve, return, first volley, or serve, return, play it off the deck. Get your team into the point.
Brzova and Enica have been very up and down in this match, and Delmonico and Gebbia have to see if they can weather it and get one more chance to get in here.
Game Delmonico,
That was
Gebbia.
a quick hold.
Yeah, so
Brzova, Enica,
what, 3 return of serve errors.
Third set.
You give Delmonico Gebbia an opening, they'll take it.
Yeah. Hughes and Powers won the first set.
Love 15.
Good call by Gebbia. That ball was flying out. Delmonico was ready to cover her.
Oh,
what a chase.
15 all.
See, Enica hit that ball. We saw her hit that yesterday too, but she hit it right at the backcourt player.
Thirty 15. Mm. 40-15.
Good duck by Brzova there.
$30.
I mean, all of these plays, the teams are putting themselves in a position of where they either win the point or lose the point.
Deuce.
It's a tricky
As
moment.
opposed to staying in the point.
Yeah, it's a
You win
tricky
the point or
moment
you're
here now.
Still in the point. It's a lot of high risk play.
Yeah,
Advantage Delmonico Gebbia.
now that Brzova and Enica have gone from 2 points for a 5-1 lead to looking at a break. And more importantly, giving Delmonico Gebbia a new lease on life here.
Right. See how Enica sets her paddle so early and that ball off the screen, and then really let that ball come out so it's between her and the net. And she had the options. She could see where opponents were. She could drive it or lob it, and she really held the ball to the last minute. Okay, back to deuce. Great
Advantage
pressure by
Delmonico
Lauren Gebbia. You feel that player coming in behind it, and you're the volleyer having to volley up.
Yeah, on off a good return. It's brutal.
Yeah, they might try a different strategy on the serve.
Game Delmonico Gebbia.
So
Brzova
from
and Enica lead 4 games to 2.
4-love,
Third set.
we are now at 4-2. Again, maybe the loose couple of returner serves is enough to change the momentum. And now
Love
Gebbia is
15.
serving, and she's struggled with her serve today. She's thrown in a few faults. Delmonico's overhead, so well placed.
Love 30.
I love to see that attempt at the drop shot. I think that's so underutilized. I always wish I would go for more drop shots when you see the players are too far back. So she went for it, and she didn't make a winner off it, but pulled them
40.
forward. Do something different.
Yeah, you're right. You've got to be right on the net to hit that drop shot.
Right.
Game Brzova and Enica. They lead 5 games.
That's just
to
what
2,
the doctor
third
ordered
set.
for Brzova and Enica. An easy break. Can breathe a little bit again.
So 5-2, third set. We're in the women's final. Brzova and Enica defeated the number 1 seeds of Dallas and Shea yesterday in the semifinal. Delmonico Gebbia defeated the number 4 seeds, Jessica Gio and Myrta Mollenveld. So our next step on the APTA Grand Prix Tour will be the Chicago Charities. Looking forward to heading back out there. They always do a great job.
Whoa.
15 love.
That's that fast feet, fast hands.
So exciting.
Yeah.
It's so exciting, and you
Yep.
get ahead of yourself. And
She had to play though.
a couple of more men's scores. Kaylor Compton are heading for a third set, and Araya Morneau are,
15 all.
I believe, down 2-1 in the second set.
Kayla Compton are playing Crick and Loughran. Yeah, this men's the Premier 16 team draw. There's no easy matches.
Fifteen 30.
Shot selection is so important, along with the speed of play.
That's
Oh, nice reset by Brzova.
15-40.
Gebbia got out of trouble there in the corner.
Did a good job.
Just looking to hit it. Huge
Game
returner serve by
Delmonico,
Delmonico.
Gebbia.
And they are
Brzova and Enica lead 5 games
5-3.
to 3, third set.
Delmonico serving.
Love 15.
Delmonico just checking her backhand volley.
That's not easy to just stay calm there
Good
with all
hand.
the
Love
stuff
30.
going on at the net.
But
Good
Enica
job.
did well. You know, she kept moving
Yeah.
forward and she kept her paddle up high. Didn't try to do too much with it.
and still stayed
2
low,
points
but
from
with
the
paddle
match.
high.
Hi, everybody.
Well done.
15-30.
Kept the pressure on Enica there.
Good move by Brzova.
To regroup, keep her partner calm. 5:30. And that's the bravery of
15-40.
Brzova. She is fearless in pressure situations. She makes it happen. I've seen it time and time again.
And she sensed early that Enica was hitting that great return. She moved up quickly.
And there it is. Game, set, match. Brzova, Enica.
Lake Invitational
6-3 in the third.
Brzova, Enica, they win 6-3.
Well played by
3-6,
Delmonico
6-3.
and Gebbia. It was an
Congratulations,
entertaining
players.
match. Lauren?
Fun match to watch.
Yeah. Really, I mean, the conditions were warm. Enica, thanks for joining us for
Thanks
the
for having me.
match.
That was so
And
much fun. I
we
love
look
watching.
forward to seeing your return on the circuit.
Yep, can't wait.
Yeah,
Hope
come
the-
back soon.
Yeah. Hope the recovery is quick, and we'll see you back
too.
on the court
Be
with
back as soon as I can.
Florentina Haj. Okay.
I'll be
Good.
around. I'll be in Chicago.
All right, good. Well, we'll have you come in if you're not playing. We'll have you join us again, and we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to go down and interview the champions, and then we're going to come back and keep streaming with the men's Premier and Open events. All right.
You can't put wings on a car. You can't see an accident coming. Or walk away from one like this. You can't make a car talk.
How can I help you?
You can't fight gravity. And you can't make one of the world's best SUVs even better. Go on, tell us what else you can't do. The all-new GLS.
Are you ready to go?
Possibly the safest, most spacious, most Mercedes SUV ever made. Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
The world of Rolex is filled with stories of perpetual excellence. For Rolex and tennis, the tradition began in 1978 and has grown to include the most iconic majors and tournaments since, supporting the legends, champions, and rising stars, committed to the future of the game. This is a story of perpetual excellence, the story of Rolex.
I play to be a role model in my neighborhood.
I play to be part of the team. I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine. I play to be a part of something bigger than myself. I play to stay healthy.
I play to feel powerful.
I play to win.
It's a 60-year love affair, as passionate as the day it began. It's where the dream and the reality are one and the same. It's safety in its most exhilarating form. It is the 2020 E-Class, the quintessential Mercedes-Benz, made new all over again. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
At the Lake Invitational, Roxy Enica, Anna Brzova. Anna is especially excited, I think, because this is to win a match at your home club. The match was fabulous. Tell us about it.
Well, you know what? First of all, I love playing with Roxy because Roxy's a good friend of mine. So it's very important when you come on the court to play and match up with somebody that you're having fun, number one. And second, somebody that's easy going on the court and willing to strategize and kind of stick with it when you're going down and uphill. So it was awesome, especially winning it here at a home crowd.
And you guys, we talked yesterday. We had a little bit of fun yesterday with the interview, and we're going to show that. But you haven't played a tournament together before. So communication was a big thing. And so how did that work out for you?
I mean, once again, like I said yesterday, my goal was just to listen to Anna. And I mean, she's been playing for so long. I'm just tagging along and trying to catch up, but she's awesome. And we communicated really well. Like she said, I'm a good friend of hers, so on and off the court, we get along really well.
And Delmonico, Gebbia, they gave you a lot to handle. I mean, you came out, took the first set 6-3. They regrouped, took the second set. You're up 4-love. You weren't out of, you weren't in the home stretch. They have the ability to come back. How did you handle the pace of Gebbia, the spin of Delmonico?
You know what it is? It's all about the unforced errors, obviously, in this game. So we started, obviously, being up, and then all of a sudden, they were more aggressive. They started blitzing a lot more, and they weren't giving us any errors. I think we were speeding up play, and then the way that we got back, we slowed it down. We came together, but they gave us a fight. They're an amazing team. It could have gone either way.
They did, and you found your spins. You found your overheads today. Was the temperature? Yeah, no, you did. The temperature, it's a little warmer, but you were able to hold on to that bite on your paddle.
Yeah, I was a little bit. In the first set, I came out more confident. Second set, I rushed a little bit. I was trying to do too much because that's how I'm playing. Third set, I came down a little bit and I found my game again. And like I said, I was talking to Anna. She told me not to hit it so hard because, Gebbia was teeing up on every back end of the side screen. So I tried to stay away from that shot, and it worked out.
Also, as a team, Lauren and Carrie like to play the fast game. So against teams, you have to see what the matchups are. And if they like the fast game, if you can kind of tone it down, you might be able to switch momentums and maybe come back and stay with it.
Well, you certainly did. Congratulations again, and we'll look forward to maybe seeing a little bit more of you guys during the season.
Watch the video, guys.
All right, I'm going to hand it back. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with more action from the men's premier event and the men's open event.